In this episode, we're looking at the life of the East Indians on the plantations. At the end of this week's lesson, you will be able to describe the life of the East Indians on the plantation from the 19th to the 20th century. Complete at least 4 of the 8 activities at the learning centers. The first batch of East Indians arrived on the sugar plantations in 1845. They were surprised when they faced the reality that the content of the contracts that they signed was, in most cases, different from what they actually experienced on the plantations. This is evident as seen in Figure 1. The circle in Figure 1 shows 4 of the items on the contracts that convinced the East Indians to sign it. However, the 4 rectangles show the actual things that made the East Indians disappointed with what they actually faced on the sugar plantation. So let's take a closer look at that. So they were promised food, but it was very expensive. They were promised housing, but the housing was overcrowded. They were promised free passage back to India, but the Indians had to pay if they wanted to go back home. They were promised good wages, but the wages were low. The life of the East Indian indentured servants on the plantations were challenging for them because of the following reasons. 1. They had to work for long hours and the wages were very low. Medical care was not always available. Therefore, many suffered from diseases and ill health. They had less freedom than the paid African ex-slaves and could be fined if they left the plantation without a permit. The indentureship would end as a result of illness or disability. Notwithstanding the challenges on the sugar plantations, the East Indian indentured servants found time for some activities that they would participate in while at home. These included praying in the morning and planting their personal crops. One of their pastimes was storytelling. They did not hide their religious beliefs from their children. They made sure that the Hindu and Muslim religious beliefs were shared with their children. Engage. Find out from your parent, teacher, or community member their working hours. Compare the working schedule with that of the East Indian indentured servants. Explore. Access the internet and watch a video on the life of the East Indians on a plantation. Explain. After viewing the video, complete Figure 1 by writing beside each number what you learned about the life of the East Indian indentured servants on the plantation. So life on the plantation, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can talk about when they got up, how long they were working for, what the pay was like, right? The expectations to stay on the plantation and not go anywhere because you had to get a permit, things of that nature. Extend. It is said that life on the plantations was harsh. Give 2 reasons for someone to come to this conclusion. Well, if I get sick and can't get any health care, that's harsh because I'm going to be suffering all that time. And if I am working and the wages are very low, then that's going to lead to hardship. Whatever plans I had coming to the Caribbean, that's not going to work out. Think of others. Evaluate. Now complete at least 4 of the 8 activities at the learning centers. Word link for Ellington Center. Use textbooks or the internet to find 2 sources which explain the life of East Indians on the plantations in Jamaica. Self-link, the Dr. Agri Arents Center, says Make a journal entry explaining your view on the working hours of the East Indians on the plantations in Jamaica. Music link, Jimmy Cliff Center. Write song lyrics on the life of the East Indians on the plantations in Jamaica. Picture link from the Edna Manley Center. Draw cartoons depicting the life of the East Indians on the plantations in Jamaica. Some people say they are artists in the class, so I'd like to see what that looks like. Body link. Make models of digging tools that were given to the East Indians when they arrived in Jamaica. So if we check our textbook, we can look at the digging tools that they were given. Number link, the Albert Einstein Center. If an East Indian indentured servant works 9 hours per day for 6 days, how many hours would he have worked for 6 days? How would I find this one out? So 9 hours per day for 6 days. How many hours? I guess we could write Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 6 days. And then write 9 hours beside each of them. And then we could add them up. That could work. Or I could say 9 and multiply that by 6. What's your answer? Leave it in the description for the video. Finally, Nature Link, and let's see if we're right with that one. Nature Link. The East Indian indentured servants were given digging tools on arriving in Jamaica. What was it that they dug? Why did they dig? Alright guys, that takes care of or look at the life of the East Indian indentured servants on the plantations. Go ahead, review the content, and actually do the activities from the learning centers. Alright, take care. See you in the next episode.